I decided to try canning today. I got it all ready in my new stove. I got the lids and the rings there. Gonna make hot water there. I've got the jars in the oven drying because I don't have enough big pots and pans to set them all in. I'm gonna use this old pressure cooker as my canner. I can do 4 pints at a time, and I got my squash laid out ready to start cutting, and Russell had an emergency with the bunnies, so all the bunnies are getting baths today. They are covered in pee-pee and poo-poo, and I got my stuff ready to go that Katie Payne and her family sent us as a housewarming gift, except that was my knife already. And I have more squash over here and back there, but I'm going to start with these 10 and see if it'll fill those 12 little jars. I don't know. Well, I tried to find the tripod, but I can't find it, the one that has the adapter for this camera. What I'm doing, I'm scooping out the seeds because our squash are really big and the seeds are really tough and the squash itself is kind of tough. So I'm scooping out the seeds and just dicing it up, and then I'm going to put it in the jars and then put boiling water on top of that. Well, I got half of them chopped up. It's just rough chop. It's nothing fancy. I did want to let you know that my scoop out of choice is a grapefruit spoon. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's got serrated edges, and it's designed for eating a grapefruit more easily, cutting it around the membrane and stuff. But it cuts seeds out of squash. So I'm going to stop. I've got half of them done, and see how many jars 5 fill up, because I can only can 4 jars at a time in that little canner over there. Well, I had that much left after filling 4 jars. I put salt in it, and I wiped my rim with vinegar on a paper towel, and I got my lids and rings hot, and I got to use my UV glove because I can't stand hot things on my hands. And I got 4 of them in there, and the water's already boiling, and it's, I don't know, 3/4 of the way up the jar. Maybe too high, but I'm going to put the lid on and let her go. They said for 40 minutes for quarts. I didn't see anybody making pints, so I don't know how long to do it, so I'm going to go for 40 minutes. Alright, I watched online, and when that little vent has steam coming out of it, you let it vent for 10 minutes, then you put the weight on. It's over here. And then you set your timer for 40 minutes. And I just made hot water in my tea kettle. Instead of boiling it and ladling it, I can pour it. Well, the first 4 cans are done with the pressure part. I let it go 35 minutes. Quarts were supposed to take 40, so I'm sure I'm fine at 35. These are pints, but it's just cooling. You're supposed to let it cool naturally. I don't know if there's still any. There's still steam. So That's how you let it go unnaturally, but I gotta use my canner again. I only have this one. And I got a lot more squash to do. And a lot more squash to do. But I ordered a big canner on Amazon a few minutes ago. I paid extra for shipping, so it should be here tomorrow evening. Well, I took them out. They're still boiling away in their jars. It doesn't look like a very big meal, so we'll probably eat 2 at a time in these small jars. But that's all I have that will fit in my canner. Our current pressure cooker. 3 have already clicked. 1 left to go. This one hasn't sucked down yet. And there it went. So 4 canned jars of summer squash. Done. Many more to go. And the highway department is out there blocking traffic. They're hopefully going to finish resurfacing our road. There's paint on the window. Yuck. Okay, here we go. Round 2. I got the water getting ready to boil on the stove. Got my hot jars. I don't like hot on my hands, so I got to wear an oven glove. In there. I'm going to fill these a little fuller this time. I'm shaking them down a little bit. Making space for some more goodie. There goes my hot water. The jars aren't that hot. I can take the glove off. That first batch really soaked up the water, so I'm trying to stuff these a little bit fuller. Alright, I'm going to try to pour left-handed. Oh, I forgot the salt. I'm not going to use the funnel since I have a pouring spout on my pourer. the jar is going to be hot because of the hot water. A little bit more in the hole. Almost forgot to wipe the rim with vinegar again. I already got them on there. Okay, make sure there's only one. I'm looking in the pan and I only see 3 lids left, but 4 rings. So hopefully I didn't put 2. There's probably 2 stuck in there somewhere. Ow. But just finger tight is what they say. Good. 2 lids in there. Nope. Alright, off to the canner they go. And the water's already boiling in here, so it's ready to go. Now we wait for the steam to come out like I told you earlier. This next batch, or this last batch of 4 jars, I'm going to put in a jalapeno in some of them. This one started to get bad. One of them did. This one started to turn bad. We got them from the Amish, I don't know, one day last week. last Thursday actually. So it's been a week, so it's time to use them up. So I'm going to put them in the squash and make them taste good. Well, there's what I ended up with. 12 jars. They've sunk down a lot. But they all sealed. These are the last 4 I just took out with the jalapeno slices in them. And there was, out of those 10 big old squash, there was 1 jar left that I parboiled and just put it in the refrigerator, and we'll eat it in the next day or 2. But there's probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 left. So I have 10 more. And that's not counting this nice double one here. Isn't that funny? Twinsies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 basically. And I still have a few jalapenos in the bag there. And then 1 cucumber he's got out so far. He said there's more, and we're getting ready to have a lot more cucumbers. So, and there's the garden. See my baby turtle? And my old man turtle? There's where they're supposed to live, but we don't have enough plug-ins in the house. But I'm pretty proud of my squash. I just hope it's edible when the time comes, but everybody's sealed. These 4 are still pretty hot. Those are already cooled off. But I've got 12 pints left, 12 regular mouth quarts, and 9 pints and a half wide mouth. I bought those, and those were a gift from the Payne family for housewarming and for freezing, and when I get a vacuum sealer, I've got extra jars of all kinds.
So we've been keeping the ducks in this pool. This is my rain wash station. And they've been making a disgusting mess and going through straw. Like, this is one night of poop. So Ricky said we have to keep them outside, and whenever we were foster parents, we bought this play gate, and it's just the perfect size for the ducks, and we put some spare doors on top to keep predators out, and they're pretty heavy, so I'm praying that they stay safe. They have just enough room to sleep and to swim. I need to get their little food dish out of their pool and put it in here. So, you use what you have, right? But anyway, this smells so terrible, and that's why we're doing this. So it's 7:34 p.m. and it appears there are more chickens out than in, and there's a storm right above our heads, and I'm concerned that they're not going to go in for the evening, which may mean that we're going to have to catch 1 million chickens. There's like 20 in there. And 20 in there. 20 or 30. I need you to tell your brothers and sisters that it's time to go in. It's getting dark. You guys need to go inside. Or not. Got a tomato plant growing here in the chicken yard. I was hoping that it would grow big and strong by the time they were adults, so that they would have like a snack. Will you please go inside? It's nighttime. It's my bedtime. Almost. The ducks survived their first night outside. They seem like they're okay. No snakes or anything got them. But it's always so cool and wonderful in the morning. Oh, we just walked through a spider web. It's sprinkling again. I was going to go get the bunnies and bring them out so they can, start their morning snacking. Get them some greens picked. My cucumbers are getting crazier and crazier. There's a bee. Oh, flowers, good. I gave up on the grass. Look how pretty. Oh my. Yeah, I think this must be okra, but the flowers are just beautiful. Have you ever seen an orange cucumber? Or a yellow one? I don't know what that means. That's a lot of cucumbers. I got a few that are not ready yet, so we can use them for just pickles. But these are interesting because they just went from white to orange. There was no like green in between. So, whatever, we harvested them. There's a lot here. Whenever I laid these on here, they were all touching, and they've shriveled up so much that they're no longer touching. And they look about dry enough to take off the shelves. And it certainly condensed one little squash, one big squash, down to virtually nothing. There's a surprising amount of moisture still in these. I was flipping them over because they were stuck to the metal, and my fingers are wet. So today I'm going to move these into the sun. They've been drying here kind of in the shade for a couple of days. But I'm going to try to finish drying them out today. Well, somebody's finally started to eat out of the bird feeder. There's some seed on the ground, so that's excellent. We were wondering if they were ever going to find this thing. Aside from the cardboard that's blowing around my orchard that I never did finish preventing the weeds, I got all the netting off and it looks like an orchard again. A couple of days ago this started turning yellow, so I watered the whole orchard for several hours. It's still got some green leaves, but I don't know what's wrong with it. It's the only plant out here that started having trouble, so it could be diseased, who knows. We were concerned when we bought this one. As soon as I put it in the ground, leaves started falling off it, but they're growing back, so it may have just been traumatized, but I'm ready for them to grow up and be big and strong. Everyone I've talked to said that their tomatoes are being weird this year, and mine have been extremely slow about taking off. I put some of these leftover cages around my strongest ones, but there's a few that are doing okay. But I'm not sure we're going to get any tomatoes this year because everyone says their tomatoes are being weird, both in Oklahoma and other states, because I have Bernie friends from all over. But so today was going to be just like any other ordinary day, but I got on Facebook and I saw that I had like 9 people who had birthdays today, and of those, was a friend of mine who I realized I haven't seen him say anything in a while. I wonder how he is doing. So I was going over to his Facebook page to tell him happy birthday, and you know, 100 people had already beat me to it. But the thing that struck me was, I've talked to this individual for months, and I hadn't talked to him since, April, like the end of April. But I was reading the comments, and it was happy birthday, you'll be sorely missed, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? The last time I heard from him, he was so excited because he was going to start his job tomorrow. Well, I kept reading all the comments after his comment about his job. Turns out, the day he posted that he was excited about starting his job the next day, he died. The same day. And no one will tell me how he died or whatever, but it's just, it really shook me to my core. I never met him, probably never was going to meet him, but you know, when you talk to someone nearly every day and then they die, even if you've never met them, they're like a pen pal, you know, it affects you, and I'm sad about it. Well, it's still raining, but the sun is setting, and there's only a few, I guess I didn't see them. There's a few out. Last night we had to catch them. You guys aren't figuring it out too good. We gotta go. There's like 5 in that coop. Oh my word. Guys, we gotta go in. We gotta go in the coop. It's nighttime. Come on. Come out of there. Come on, guys. Come on. Out from under the ramp. I'm gonna have to catch them one by one. Again. You guys are stressing me out. Well, that took a lot less time than last night, because they were just kind of huddled together, and just let me pick them up and toss them in the coop. Now I've got to get the bunnies. Teach me ever to go to town again. Hey guys, are you wet? Nope, you were covered. Oh, there's a frog. Running by my spent DeWalt batteries. Hey there, frog. Well, she wriggled and caused me to drop my camera, and now it's covered in mud. But it asked me if I wanted to recover the data, and I said yes, so hopefully it did. But now I've got to get everyone's water. Oh, this one's empty. Dang it. Ricky had this brilliant idea, so we don't have to drag the hose or carry these all the way over to the hose. We can just dunk them in this bucket of water. Bam. Now, I wouldn't guarantee that this water will stay clean forever, but for a couple of days, it's hard enough to do this with 2 hands. Dab-nabbit. So anyway, while you're looking at the ground, I went to town and caught a lot of Pokemon today on Pokemon Go, and I shared a lot of pictures to Facebook, and that was fun. A lot of people started tagging me. I need to get one more bottle. A lot of people started tagging me in these funny pictures like one was a minivan that said free Pokemon inside, and it said how to catch a 28-year-old in 2016, and I thought that was pretty hilarious. And so, oh, there's my umbrella. I was wondering where that went. I had it on my mower because I was using it to protect myself from sun, and a cloud came and covered me, so I put it in between my legs and then it disappeared. So I could have been a lot drier had I known where it is, but I didn't. So now that I'm all completely saturated, I have an umbrella. I don't even know why I'm bothering. I guess to keep my camera dry. Well, my camera, I'm holding a muddy camera right now. But it's hard to enjoy the fireflies whenever you're saturated, trying to keep your saturated animals from getting any more saturated. I'm just glad that I didn't leave the baby bunnies in a cage outside because they would have been very cold. Hey, Mrs. Mustard, are you thirsty? Oh, gotta turn off my lamps. I'm shocked that my battery is not fully charged. It's only at 12.5. Rain or shine, gotta take care of your babies. Everybody's inside. Oh, my dog's out. Ordinarily when it's raining, she has no interest in what's going on out here. But I left the door open just in case. Hey, what are you looking at over there? Did you find anything good? Let's go inside, hon. It's raining. Come on. She's a good little helper. The ducks, I just left them in that little cage all day. And when we left, the doors were still on top, so they're probably dry.